Is this the most frustrating Scream Factory release of all time? Let's talk about it. Today, I'm back with another physical media unboxing and review for you all. Today, I'm going to be showing you all the brand new 4K Scream Factory release of Army of Darkness. So I'm going to open up this collector's edition from Scream Factory and let you all know what to expect on the inside with artwork. Also give you my thoughts on the 4K visual and audio presentation with the theatrical release. Also let you know what special features you can find on the disc, and then plus do a quick little review of the movie and ultimately give you my recommendation on if this release is worth the price. So let's get right into it. Let's take a look at the front cover right here. So we got the nice classic artwork from the theatrical poster. So I do really like this poster artwork. Actually, it is really cool. I mean, it captures that fantasy adventure element. Of course, you got Bruce Campbell right there on the front with the chainsaw. So I do like that. Just isn't anything different or unique. It's not newly commissioned artwork from Scream Factory. So even though I do like it, it isn't anything new and fresh. So just depends if you like the original theatrical poster or not. But let's take a look at the inside of this one. Let's get the slipcover off. Now, I will let you all know that with the slipcover, it is kind of sometimes to get it back into the case of it. I know I was kind of struggling with it, so I think the slipcover is kind of small. So it does get tightly packed in there. But yeah, let's take a look at the inside here. Okay, I'm going to let you guys know some frustrations I have with this one. But let's take a look at the first disc. The first disc is going to be the theatrical cut on the 4K quality. So that's the way that disc looks. And I'll take it off and show you. Oh, and I already got a disc slipping out of here. Ooh, that is something that's an issue with this release. But I'll get to that. But yeah, to show you the 4K theatrical disc. There you go. I'm not really a big fan of this artwork here. I mean, you got Ash, right? Bruce Campbell. So it's okay. It's nothing terrible. I do like the font style of Army of Darkness. So it's okay. And it's different from all the other discs, so it works fine. I don't know. This one just doesn't pop to me as much as some of the other discs, but we'll take a look at those. But once again, that is the 4K theatrical cut. And then if you go ahead and turn the case over, this is the frustration I have. These discs easily fall out off the disc holder. So even when trying to put it back on the disc holder, it just doesn't catch correctly and doesn't like to stay on there for some reason. And it's not just that disc. Like, I had a lot of issues with a lot of the disc holders trying to get them back into place. So that's an issue there. Very frustrating. I don't like that. But let's take a look at this disc right here. So let me get this one. Yes. All right. So this one is going to be disc 2. This is the Blu-ray theatrical cut. So once again, the only difference from this and the 4K disc was that this one is on Blu-ray. And so, yeah, both the theatrical cut, you get a different artwork image on this disc. And I like this artwork image just because you got the ghoul on there, that monster. And it just kind of pops with the purple. So, yeah, I kind of like how that stands out. But it's different artwork, which is cool. It's something different from, once again, all the other discs, have their unique image on there. But there we go. And then let's take a look at the other disc in this package, because this actually comes with 4 different discs. Yeah, 4 discs. Wow, that's a whole lot of discs. But let's take a look at the next one. So the next one we got in there, this is going to be disc 3. This is going to be the Blu-ray director's cut. Let me take this one off. And once again, it pops off so easily, too easily, because then when I try to put it back on, it doesn't like to stick. But here we go. We have disc 3, the Blu-ray director's cut. Another image of Ash. This one actually better than that first image of Ash. You get the green kind of feel to it, and it takes up more of the space on the disc. So actually, I think this one is pretty decent, but I think so far the Blu-ray theatrical image is my favorite. I think that one really pops. But this one's not too bad as well. But there we go. That is a disc 3, and that's the director's cut, which has, you know, different scenes in the movie, different takes on certain scenes, different lines in there, and it, I believe it extends the length of the movie just by a little bit as well, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, both the director's cut and theatrical cut, I think, are really good. Just a few little changes here and there. You know, if you want a little bit more, you go with the director's cut to get some of the longer scenes, right? More skeletons blown up and whatnot. Yeah, but both are good. Both are excellent cuts. All right, next, and then we got the 4th disc, of course. So let's take a look at the 4th disc. All right, 4th disc right there. And let me actually take it off so we can see it a little bit better. Once again, these pop off so easily. Way too easily in my opinion, but this is going to be disc 4. This is also Blu-ray. This is the international cut, the television cut. So yeah, you got those cuts of the movie on this disc. So I haven't checked these ones out yet, so I'm gonna have to check them out at some point. But yeah, there's so many different cuts of this movie. It is pretty impressive how Scream Factory was able just to include all these different versions, all these different discs. I'm gonna have to give them, you know, kudos for that, including all these discs. Now, for this disc image, this one isn't my favorite. Just doesn't pop as much as a couple of the other ones in there. And yeah, so yeah, it's okay. But the cool thing is it's different than all the other discs. And all the other discs have like a darker, most of them have a darker background. This one, you get the more clear background there. So yeah, and you got kind of like a yellow shine with it as well. So, but the nice thing is they're all different. You're going to be able to tell them all apart easily, which is awesome. Once again, just the major frustration with it is that they're tough, once again, to get back on the disc holders, and they don't like to stick in place. So I wonder if anybody else had those issues with this, or is it just like with my case? You know, let me know in the comments below, definitely. But yeah, at least you got them on different disc holders, which is nice. They're not in like, you know, cardboard sleeves or anything like that. So that is a plus to that. But yeah, let's take a look now at the back here, because on the back, that's going to let you know all the specifications if you want to, you know, pause and zoom in on anything. But yeah, it breaks down what each disc comes with, their special features on a lot of the Blu-rays there. I believe on the Blu-rays, that's where you're going to find mainly the special features. On the theatrical cut Blu-ray, you actually get a really cool special feature of a making of documentary, which has interviews from over like 20 people that worked on the movie. You get even Bruce Campbell in there, Sam Raimi in there. I mean, just it's great. You get to see so many people that worked on the movie. So that was a really good documentary, and that's a full-length documentary. Like that takes up some time there. So excellent, excellent. And then on the other Blu-ray discs, you do get some vintage featurettes on there. You also, on the theatrical cut one, you get the original ending, you get the alternate ending, and, you know, you get your TV spots, your teaser trailers and things like that. So yeah, between the Blu-ray discs, you get different special features there. Now, I don't think any of these are new special features, at least from what I could tell. They didn't feel new at all. They did feel like they were just ported over from previous releases. So I don't think Scream Factory went out and got any new specific release featurettes for this movie. So no like new interviews just for this 4K, and no new featurettes of any kind, at least from what I could tell. But definitely correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. They're good special features. Just wish we had something new with it as well. That would have been awesome to get, you know, a little bit of an extra little bonus there. So that would have been good. But yeah, what are you gonna do? All right, and then at the bottom, you can see all the specifications with all the discs with the audio tracks and the visual quality. So on the 4K, you are only going to be getting the DTS 5.1 surround Sound Master audio track. You're not getting a Dolby Atmos track with the 4K, which I think is a letdown. I would have loved to see a Dolby Atmos track with this movie. The soundtrack they have on there right now, it's not terrible by any means. It's solid, but it didn't pop to me. And I think if we got a Dolby Atmos track, it would have popped a little bit more. And then with the 4K presentation, I thought it was good. I thought it was solid, especially, you know, with all the practical effects and makeup and costumes they use, you know, very medieval time kind of costumes. Those did look a lot sharper, which was great. And yeah, it did stand out for 4K in comparison to the Blu-ray from what I was able to tell. Now, is it the best 4K I've ever seen in my life? No, probably not. I don't know if I would put it in the amazing 4K category, but I definitely would put it in maybe good to great category for the 4K. Because, you know, it's an older movie, so, you know, the 4K sharpness is going to update it a little bit, which is nice. Definitely a bigger difference than, say, the newer remake of Evil Dead being in 4K. You're going to be able to tell more of the difference on this release. Now, just to talk about the movie itself, Army of Darkness, I think this is a really awesome movie. This is the third Evil Dead movie. They even talk about in a documentary that it was going to be called like Medieval Dead, which I think would have been a really cool title. But I like this title too. But that one I think would have connected more to the other Evil Dead movies, which would have been awesome. But yeah, I really like this one. This one is my favorite out of the three classic Evil Dead movies, because this one is more of an adventure fantasy kind of tale, where the first Evil Dead movie is more horror, the second Evil Dead movie is more horror comedy, but this third one, not a whole lot of horror elements in there. There's a little bit, but it definitely gets a lot more adventure, more fantasy, kind of like a Jason and the Argonauts. Sorry, totally saying that incorrectly. I do apologize. But it gives you that like adventure feel to the movie. Bruce Campbell is great in this one. He does still have kind of his clever, witty humor about him. You know, he just has that personality where it's like, okay, this guy, but you know, you still root for him, which is fantastic. So yeah, Bruce Campbell is great in the movie. All just the effects with the stop motion animation, all the skeletons. I mean, it's fantastic. Yeah, really, really cool. Really like this movie. Just very enjoyable. And I think it's more easy watching than the other Evil Dead movies. More of the family, I would say, could watch this movie over the other Evil Dead movies. Once again, because this one isn't very scary at all. It's more just, you know, kind of that adventure action tale, which is really cool. I like how they change up the tone of the movie with this one. Yeah, going for a different vibe completely, but really, really awesome. Really like this movie. So even if you're not a big horror fan, I would say, you know, if you like adventure tales, try this movie out and skip over maybe Evil Dead 1 and 2 just to see if you like this one. And then, yeah, if you really like this one and you really like, you know, the Ash character, then I would say work your way backwards if you're not a big horror fan. Because if you're not a big horror fan and you start with Evil Dead 1, then yeah, you're probably going to be turned off right away. But if you're an adventure fan, I think you may still like this one, even though you may not like the other Evil Dead movies. But yeah, really awesome movie. Really enjoyed this one. So I can recommend that you at least watch this one and check it out. But now to get into my ultimate recommendation on, is this a really good Scream Factory release? Is it a great physical media pickup? Is it worth your money? Well, to me, it was worth my money, even though it wasn't perfect. This was a very frustrating release for me because, I mean, just some, you know, little small kind of random issues I had, like the disc, like completely, you know, falling out, not wanting to stick on the disc holders, the slip cover, like, you know, being a little bit too tight to where it would basically like catch on the back of the case, the bottom of the case, and then cause some damage to the plastic. I didn't like that. Once again, just so you know, another small frustration issue there. no new commissioned artwork for this one, no new special features or new featurettes, even though the stuff they had on there was great, just, not a whole lot of new here. So those were things that really frustrated me about this release, because I'm like, okay, if they went out and got that new stuff and just did some, even better packaging here, then this would have been a phenomenal release. Oh my goodness, this is an outstanding release. But because of those frustrations, it does bring it down for me a little bit. But I still think it's a great release because you're getting all the different versions of the movie. You got all those discs in there. So whether you prefer the theatrical cut, the director's cut, the international television cut, you got them all there, which is so cool. And I like how the discs all look different. So those are definitely the pros about this release. Now, the 4K is only on the theatrical cut. It would have been next level if they did a 4K for each different version of the movie. Could you imagine getting what would that be, like a 6-disc set out of this one? Now, if that was the case, this would be a phenomenal release, no-brainer for mostly everybody to pick that one up, because that would have been just outstanding. But at least you get the 4K with the theatrical one, and then you have all the Blu-rays of the other ones, which is still nice. But yeah, so with all that kind of a mixed bag there of, the cons and the pros, this one comes in at $27.99. There is a steelbook out there, if it's still available, that you can get. That's actually really cool artwork on the steelbook, but just more hefty of a price. So yeah, I didn't want to go for that. I wanted to go with the slipcover on this one. But yeah, I would say it is worth for the money. It is worth $27.99, especially if you're a fan of this movie, if you're a fan of the franchise, then yeah, gotta pick this one up. Not too bad on the price because you're getting all these different versions of the movie. Now, if you only had one version of the movie with like the one 4K and the one Blu-ray, then I would say maybe a little bit more cautious on it, but with all the different versions of the movie, even though it's not a perfect release, it's still a really great release. So I enjoyed picking it up. I definitely think people should check out the movie, and then if you really like it, definitely pick up this versions of the movie, the Scream Factory release here, because you're just getting a whole lot with it, even though it's not a whole lot of new stuff. But yeah, awesome pickup. But let me know now in the comments below, what did you think of the Scream Factory release overall? Did you think they did a good job with the packaging, everything included? Or were you a little disappointed? Did you want some more new stuff added? In comparison to the Evil Dead remake release that just came out, this is 110% way better than that release, because that release didn't even come with a Blu-ray. It only came with the 4K. This you get so many different discs. So let me know your thoughts on this physical media release down below. And then also, if you're not picking up this release, if you've seen the movie, just let me know your thoughts on Army of Darkness. Do you love the movie, or do you prefer the other Evil Dead movies? If you want to leave your rankings down below, that would be a lot of fun too. But let's have those great movie discussions in the comments. And if you're visiting the channel for the very first time and you love collecting physical media and being part of this awesome league of mega film fans, make sure you subscribe right now. That way you stay entertained and up to date on all the latest physical media topics.
When the world needed a hero,
the swallow us all! I don't want to die!
What it got was him.
Groovy.
And if you enjoyed this physical media topic video, click another video to see more. Also, like the video. And this is Mega Mike the Movie Man reminding you to make every day a movie day.